Novosibirsk is a major Russian city located in Siberia and as a result, often never has news that is heard internationally. An event in June of 2021 would change that in a horrific way.
Может, поедем отсюда, ну и нахуй эту хуйню.
Нет, да ну нахуй. Поехали, уезжай, уезжай. Уезжай, ебать, такой нихуя. Ебануться, блядь. Уходи, газу.
Ебать! What you just saw was an explosion at a gas station in Novosibirsk in which at least 35 people were injured, many in critical condition when it happened. It shows multiple angles recorded by people, however none of them are as crazy as this one. If you look carefully, I added a slight bit of blurring and that's because it showed a man getting hit by some of the debris. I'll leave the link to the unblurred version in the pinned comment if you'd like to go and see it. This happened because a gas truck was not grounded when it drained the liquefied gas. This CCTV camera footage was captured on the 4th of September 2024 in Thailand's Chai Phum province. If you've been to Thailand or seen a few videos from there, you'll know that they have an abundance of street vendors that sell all sorts of things. This video captures one of these street vendors, however her day is about to be turned into a nightmare. What do you think happened for me to say this? If you thought some car or bike would have ruined her day, you'd be wrong. She fell into a drain pipe in front of a house in the market as she attempted to take a seat. According to her, she's been in this area multiple times before and never expected this to happen, as she thought the pipe that gave way wouldn't be damaged. To make matters even worse for her, there was a lot of water flowing where she fell too, but thankfully, she survived this ordeal with only a slight injury to her arm. This video is very similar to the previous one you just saw, with only a few slight differences. For one, this is a grocery store that's located close to a road, unlike the previous video which showed a roadside market for vendors. It's also from Thailand, being recorded in Chanthaburi. Just like the last video, I want to ask you, what do you think happened here for it to be featured on this channel? I did mention this video is very similar to the previous one, in the sense that both women avoided losing their life by the thinnest of margins. The only difference here was that instead of the woman falling through a pipe, she had to get away from an ice truck that had a tire blowout. The question here, at least in my opinion, should be why the ice truck was going at such high speeds. That road is very narrow, and the way the truck flipped gives me the impression that he was speeding. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. This next video was allegedly captured in Slovakia back in 2015. I'll be using the word allegedly a lot here, and that's plainly because all of the information from this video is from the people who viewed it and commented on it. There's no news source that has mentioned or reported this, which makes verifying info that much harder. What it showed was a man using a motor-powered glider. According to the channel that posted it, he was attempting to take off, but then, due to his lack of experience, ended up crashing. That wasn't the only factor, some other things were also in play, but the account blames this solely on pilot error. There was no explicit mention of it, but the way the comments were written, it's clear that the pilot did not survive this freak accident. It seems these videos sometimes have a theme built into them, and that too unintentionally. Some comps are the Darwin edition, some are the Aviation edition. This one, I guess, could be described as the Bad Day at Work edition. Here's another clip of some people having a bad day at work. This video showed the moment a crane truck, which was on its way to lift the state's new meteorological radar, topples over in Montenegro. Not the Montenegro in Europe, but the one in Brazil. It's a bit similar to the video I showed of a Chinese crane falling off of a hill, but perhaps not as shocking. Seeing massive pieces of equipment fall over like that is both interesting and kind of terrifying, knowing how big they are and how much they weigh. Thankfully, the driver survived this, but he had a broken arm and severe bruising. This video has very little context surrounding it, but the little information that is present gives an idea of many things. For one, it allegedly shows a pilot and his student during a training flight. Of course, something will go wrong here. While they were flying, the engine suddenly malfunctioned. This is terrifying for both the pilot and his student, as the speed they were going was not as fast as you'd think. Because of this, they were unable to land in the massive field you saw and had to crash land somewhere else. In this extremely high-stress environment, the pilot somehow managed to land the plane in a way that kept both of them alive, which deserves a lot of praise. You may be wondering why I blurred it if they survived. That's just to be extra cautious of the guidelines, but you can take my word for it that they did indeed survive. Before I show you this bonus video, I want to take a second and thank all of you for the support you've shown me. The channel has been growing at a rapid pace, and I'm lucky enough to be able to continue putting these videos out and speak with you guys in the comments. That is why I've included this bonus video in this comp, because all of you enjoy them. A Russian guy driving a Hyundai in Moscow during 2020 was faced with a situation eerily similar to something out of Final Destination. It's unbelievable, but as he was sitting in traffic, a piece of metal came flying out of nowhere, hitting his windshield. Thankfully, it didn't smash through it, because he would have got hit directly if it had.